This is about our future.
A future that starts with us.
With this open, it's so loud.
First, the defensive unit for the Roseau Rams. In numerical order. Number 1, Christian Larson. Number 2, Miles Dixon. Number 3, Tucker Kaveen. Number 8, Gene Jacquez. Number 10, Levi Dunham. Number 12, Eli Wenslaw. Number 21, Austin Baumgartner. Number 26, Ethan McDonald. Number 35, Jordan Baravich. 43, Jake Baravich. And number 75, Landon Baumgartner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Pelican Rapids, Minnesota for playoff football. It is the first round, the quarterfinals of Section 8AA, and you are about to watch the number 2 seeded Pelican Rapids Vikings take on the number 7 seed Roseau Rams. First, the starting lineups for the visiting Roseau Rams. Senior running back, number 1, Christian Larson. Junior tight end and linebacker, number 2, Miles Dixon. Junior running back and defensive back, number 3, Tucker Kaveen. Senior tight end and linebacker, number 8, James Jacks. Freshman, number 10, running back and linebacker, Levi Dunham. Junior, number 12, quarterback and defensive back, Eli Wenslaw. Junior, number 21, wide receiver, defensive back, Austin Baumgartner. Senior, number 26, wide receiver, defensive back, Ethan McDonald. Freshman, number 35, Jordan Baravich. Junior, number 43, running back, defensive lineman, Jake Baravich. And sophomore, number 75, Landon Baumgartner. A fairly young starting roster for those Roseau Rams, and a lineup that if you were with us 2 weeks ago should sound familiar to you, as these Vikings played these same Roseau Rams 2 weeks ago on this field. coming away with a 44-14 victory on October 13th. The starting lineup for your Vikings on offense. Junior, the slot receiver, number 3, Trayvon Benson. Junior running back, number 4, Jack Kappinga. Senior slot wide receiver, number 7, Jack Paulson. Senior quarterback, number 10, Timmy Guler. Senior wide receiver, number 12, Luke Soley. Senior tight end, number 13, Ethan Schustrom. And on the line, senior tackle, number 67, Justin Jacobson. Senior center, number 70, Jarrett Stetz. Senior tackle, number 71, Chris Laferriere. Junior guard, number 73, Willem Pesch. And junior guard, number 76, Elias Valdivines. The Vikings are head coached by Eli Beachy, assisted by defensive coordinator Ryan Beachy, offensive line coach Hayden Sturdivant, special teams coordinator and JV head coach Chris Hacker, JV defensive coordinator Mitch Verdorn, defensive line coach Paul Sturdivant, and offensive and defensive booth coaches Jensen Beachy and Rick Courtwright. We are just about to get things started here from Pelican Rapids. As I said, the Vikings come in as the 2 seed in Section 8AA. Their record stands at 7-1. They are currently riding a 5-game win streak following their only loss of the season against Barnesville. And they are hoping they can have a chance to get back to see Barnesville in the section championship. We'll get to all of those section standings and the games this evening, but first, our opening kickoff. That's number 43, Jake Baravich with the opening kick. Channing Russman will field from his own 15, head up the middle, and eventually be brought down right around the 30-yard line, falling forward to the 31. The Vikings finished up the regular season 6-1 in Section 8AA play. As I said, that is good for the number 2 seed. That is the identical record that they have in the HOL conference. Typically, we see a little branching off where the conference does not totally equal the section, but the 8 teams in the HOL this year are the 8 teams in Section 8AA. Vikings come out of the huddle with a 4-man backfield. That's quarterback Timmy Guler wearing those pink socks standing out on your screen this evening. He's going to send number 7, Jack Paulson, in motion to the right, followed by Trayvon Benson in motion, and Guler takes the snap and will give to Jack Kappinga, who gets through the initial line and will have a first down for the Vikings, picking up 11 yards. Jack Kappinga, the Vikings' leading rusher by far. He has played every game this year for the Vikings and has 127 carries for 975 yards and 15 total touchdowns, averaging over 7.5 yards a carry. That's Benson in motion again. Guler again up the middle, and this time Kappinga will be brought down after a modest pickup of 4 yards on first down. Kappinga has hands down been a workhorse from that running back position for the Vikings, and the Vikings quick to the line again. They like to get to the line very quick, make it difficult on the defense to make any substitutions. This is Guler's first pass attempts of the game. It's complete wide right to Trayvon Benson. He's got room to run on the sideline, and Benson is eventually pushed out of bounds after a first down. That is junior Trayvon Benson with his first catch of the evening and Timmy Guler's first completion. And again, the Vikings very quick to the line. As I was saying, that stops the defense from getting any type of substitutions in, really from getting any type of play call other than just a base defense in. And then it gives the Guler-led offense a lot of time to assess the defense and what they're going to give them. He gives again to Jack Kappinga up the middle, and Kappinga, very patient running, is going to get a good 7-yard, 8-yard pickup on first down. A very methodical approach to the start of this drive for the Vikings. 3 runs to Kappinga and 1 toss wide to Benson has the Vikings nearing the red zone. Guler from the shotgun takes the snap, and he looks to pass. Drifting to his left, he's going to lob out, and he has Benson. And that's good for a first down, and Benson will dip out of bounds after a pickup of near 10 yards. That moves the chains and gets the Vikings into the red zone. And Guler made that look very easy, a much more difficult pass than it looked on your screens at home. Guler drifting to his left, throwing across his body and putting it right on the money to Trayvon Benson with enough room to turn upfield and pick up that Vikings first down. 10:13 in our clock, and the Vikings have 1st and 10 from their own 14-yard line. Guler takes the snap, will give to Kapinga, who makes one man miss and falls forward down inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. And the Vikings are going to have 2nd and 4 from around the 7-yard line of the Roseau Rams. Vikings have no-huddled this entire drive. Impressive communication from this senior-heavy offensive unit for the Vikings. Guler from the short shotgun snap takes it, and he will pull out after Kapinga, and Guler will have his easiest touchdown of the year. He fooled about every single defensive player on the field for the Rams. That was about the 5th time that drive. They had just ran that little read option, and it was the first time that Guler had pulled it, and all 11 men on the defensive side of the ball were still looking at Kapinga as Guler quite literally walked into the end zone for the Vikings' first score of the evening. Timmy Guler, of course, senior quarterback who missed the first 3 games of this season after missing about the last 11 months of all athletic activity with a knee injury he suffered last year. And the Vikings will set up, go for 2. It's Guler back to pass, throws to his right through the arms of Jack Paulson, who takes a shot but is quick to stand up. Would have been a really impressive catch from Paulson. As it stands, it is 6-0 Vikings, 9:37 on the scoreboard. As I was saying, Guler has only played the last 5 regular season games for the Vikings, but he has accumulated quite the stat line in that time. He's completed 74.7% of his passes, good for 654 yards, 7 touchdowns, and only 2 interceptions, while also running for 442 yards, averaging over 8 yards a carry, and racking up 8 touchdowns on the ground for a total of 15 touchdowns over those 5 games. And he picks up his first one of this playoff game this evening. As I mentioned, the Vikings saw these Rams a couple of weeks ago. Since then, they were on the road to Park Rapids last Friday night in a game against the 2 and 3 seed in Section 8AA play. The Vikings came away with a 44-19 win. More on that in a second. First, it is Grady Larson with the kickoff for the Vikings, fielded at the 15 and popped by number 11, Channing Russman. That was number 3, Tucker Kaveen, on the return, who took the hard hit from Russman. And I believe the Vikings are going to get flagged for some type of taunting penalty following that tackle. That would just be my guess. And it is going to be an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty against junior number 11, Channing Russman. Got too excited following that initial tackle. It was a heck of a pop, and Russman let his emotions go for just a couple seconds longer than he knows he should have, and that's going to move the ball up 15 yards for the Rams, and they will take over 1st and 10 from their own 39. That is junior quarterback number 12, Eli Wenzloff, with a 3-man backfield. The last time the Rams were here, they were led by freshman number 35, Jordan Borovich, who accumulated 166 total yards on offense and 2 total touchdowns, 1 offensively and 1 on a forced fumble recovery that he pried from the arms of the Vikings and ran back into the end zone. That accounted for the 2 scores the Rams had that day. Only a freshman. He is the one to watch for this Rams offense. He's the last man in the backfield. They fake it to Borovich. Wenzloff hit as he throws, and that's going to fall incomplete. That was number 67. That was Justin Jacobson on the pressure there for the Vikings. 9:25 on the clock. We're back. That is Borovich on the carry, picks up a short 1-yard gain there for the Rams. It's a nice fall evening here in Pelican Rapids. Temperature currently stands at 49 degrees, just a slight breeze. All things considered, for late October, a fine evening at Chauncey Martin Field. Wenzloff in 3rd and long, drops back to pass, looks to his right, throws, has a man underthrown though. That was number 10, Levi Dunham, the freshman, who had a little room there, and I think if the pass would have been on the mark, would have been close to first down yardage. As it stands, pass falls incomplete, and the Vikings force a 3-and-out following the Russman unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. That's 43, Jake Borovich, back to punt, the junior. Back deep for the Vikings is Eisman and number 3, Trayvon Benson. It goes Benson's way. He goes up the right side. A flag flies, and I believe that is going to be a hold on Ethan Schustrom, who maybe held on just a half second longer on that block than he should have. Looked like a pretty loose call from my vantage point, but the officials saw differently. And that will likely back the Vikings up another 10 yards from the spot of that foul. And actually not a hold, but an illegal block in the back that goes against Schustrom. Will still back them up 10 yards. And so they'll have 1st and 10 from their 19. Looking to add on to the success they had from the first drive of the game. It's again Guler in the backfield with Jack Kapinga to his right. He's got Soli, Paulson, Schustrom, and Benson out wide. And it's going to be Guler on the option read. He will pitch to Jack Paulson, and Paulson's got room to run down the left side. Still on his feet. He will be brought down right around midfield. And the official will actually mark him out of bounds back at the Viking 45, but a nice pickup of 26 yards for Paulson on 1st and 10 on that option. Well read by quarterback Timmy Guler, and a perfect pitch and run after by Jack Paulson. Paulson's going to be in the slot near side. That's Schustrom at the bottom of your screen. Benson now in motion. And Guler will give to Kapinga up the middle, who's hit at midfield, and the referee will blow forward progress dead after a gain of 6 yards on 1st down. That's going to bring up 2nd and 4 for the Vikings. A much more full house here at Chauncey Martin Field than we had a week and a half ago when the Vikings hosted the Rams on a rainy, windy, cold Friday night. Pep band playing this evening, much nicer night. And it's Guler back to pass. He will throw to his right. That's Paulson. He's got 1st down yardage, and Paulson will make 2 men miss, and Jack Paulson still on his feet. Brought down at the 22-yard line. The senior wide receiver lowered the shoulder and broke through 2 tackles on his way to that 1st down reception and run. It is Miguel Torres at the bottom of the screen now. Paulson caught that last ball in the slot. And left of Guler is Benson and Soli wide left. It's Kapinga behind. Guler sends Paulson in motion, takes the snap, and will keep himself up the middle. And Timmy Guler with a nice 1st down run of 10 yards right around the 1st down marker, and that will move the chains. The 10-yard gain for Guler. The Vikings right back up to the ball. They have 1st and 10 from their from the Rams, 14-yard line. Guler trips to his left, takes the snap. Little miscommunication. Guler's going to try to make something out of nothing, and he's able to, and he's going to be brought down after another 1st down pickup. Guler went for an option read to his left. The running back, Kapinga, went to his right, And Guler, from a broken play, still picked up 11 yards and a Viking first down. It is first and goal from the Roseau 4-yard line. It's Paulson, Torres, and Benson right, solely wide left. The snap and give to Kapinga up the middle. He is hit in the line of scrimmage and is in for a Viking touchdown. That second and third effort from Jack Kapinga, good for the score. And the Vikings lead 12-0, 2-point try pending. Following the touchdown, the Vikings do huddle up. It's the only time they have huddled offensively on their 2 drives. Really working on that no huddle. It's Guler who gives to Kapinga again, and Kapinga reaches for the goal line but is going to be just a half-yard shy. And so the Vikings 2 scores, 2 failed 2-point conversion tries. And your scoreboard reads with 6:18 on the clock in the first quarter. Pelican Rapids Vikings 12, Roseau Rams 0. The winner of tonight's game will have a short turnaround before playing the winner of Holly and Park Rapids on Saturday. Should Pelican Rapids maintain this lead, they would host on Saturday the winner of that game. And should the Rams pull off the comeback now down 12-0, they would go to the winner of that game and play a second road game in that Section 8AA semifinal. For the Vikings, they have seen both of those 2 teams, Holly and Park Rapids, both in the last 3 weeks. Park Rapids, as I said, just 5 days ago on Friday, 4 days ago on Friday, coming away with that 44-19 win. 2 weeks prior to that, as Larson's end-over-end kick is fielded at the 15 by number 3, Tucker Kaveen, and Kaveen is down at the 35. Return of 18 yards, and the Rams will take over first and 10. It was 3 weeks ago on October 6th, the Vikings traveled to Holly on another gloomy, drizzly, sloppy, muddy evening, and that game very tight the whole way. The Vikings came away with a 14-13 victory, but I know both the Nuggets and the Panthers of Park Rapids would like a chance at redemption against this Viking team on Saturday. As it stands now, though, it is still just a 2-score game at 12-0 with 6:14 to play in this first quarter. And the Rams have first and 10 from their own 35-yard line. It's Wensloff under center with 3 men in the backfield. He takes the snap, and he will give as flags fly to Jordan Borovich. Borovich hit in the backfield, and he will just be able to get back to the line of scrimmage. It'll be second and 10 pending this flag. Still waiting on the official ruling. First indication is that it does go against the Rams. The question will be if the Vikings want to take second and 10 or back the Rams up further. That was an illegal formation against the Rams. They had too many men lined up off the line of scrimmage. Head coach Eli Beachley will decline that penalty and take second and 10. Kind of a free play defensively there for the Vikings. You hear about free plays offensively, but you get that you know at worst case scenario it's going to be first and 20. If you can make a stop and get second and 10, probably take that just like Coach Beachy did. And here is the second down play, and it's going to be a pickup of 2 yards. That's going to bring up third and long. This Roseau offense 2 weeks ago had very, very little success running up the middle between the tackles. Their only real success offensively came trying to get freshman Jordan Borovich the ball with space in front of him, out wide. And so I'm curious to see if they are going to try to do that here on third and long, if they will look to pass with Wensloff. Wensloff is in the shotgun, drops back to pass, drifting to his right. throws on the run, and that's going to be complete but short of first down yardage. That is freshman number 10, Levi Dunham, on the diving catch. However, good for only about a 5-yard pickup, and it's going to bring up 4th down and a long 3. Score being 12-0, it does appear as if the Rams are going to keep their offense on the field and go for it on 4th and relatively short. And a bit of a significant feel to this play as the Vikings offense has been unstoppable so far this game. And the Rams going for it as the play clock is down to 3. He takes the snap and will give to Jordan Borovich. Borovich is hit in the backfield, makes one man miss. Second effort is going to be very, very close to first down yardage for the freshman. And the indication from the official is first down Rams. Borovich was initially hit about a yard deep in the backfield. Second effort and a lunge forward at the end, just enough to move the chains. A 3.5-yard gain when they needed 3 from freshman Borovich. Fresh set of downs for the Rams. These two teams have met 7 times in the last 12 years. The Vikings coming away on top in all 7 of those contests. Give is right up the middle. 243, Jake Borovich, the junior, and Jake Borovich picks up 2 on first down. Clock runs were under 3.5 to go in the first quarter. Pelican Rapids leads Roseau 12-0 in this Section 8AA quarterfinal first round matchup. Winner looking to play in the semifinal on Saturday. 2nd and 8. Wenzloff sends Borovich in motion. Fakes to Borovich and gives to Jake Borovich, who is stuffed in the backfield. He will lose the yards he gained on first down and then some. That's going to be a loss of 4, bringing up 3rd down and 12. This Viking defense has been very tough all season long. The only game in which they allowed really any significant amount of points was Barnesville in that 36-22 loss all the way back on September 15th. Back to throw. That pass is caught by number 1, Christian Larson, but well short of first down yards. Going to get back those 4 yards lost on second down, and it's going to bring up 4th and 8. The Rams went for it on 4th and 4 plays ago, and it looks as if they are going to go for it again on 4th and 8. And you got to respect that decision. It's been tough to try to slow down the Viking offense, and you'd like to make the field longer for them with a punch, sure. But if you don't have that confidence in your defense, you might as well go for it, especially down early. Wenzloff back to pass, will swing out wide, and a immediate hit by Jack Paulson. Well read. They were looking to throw a little bubble screen to freshman Jordan Borovich, and right as the ball hit Borovich's hands, Jack Paulson lowered his shoulder and laid a hit on the freshman. Pass falls incomplete, and the Viking defense forces a turnover on down, sending it back over to the Viking offense looking to extend that 12-0 early lead. Little earlier start to our game this evening. I think a couple factors at play with that. First of all, and probably foremost, the Rams having a 4+ hour bus ride following this game. If we can start an hour early, why not? But also, temps getting a little cooler. Doesn't hurt to start an hour earlier and get an extra hour of sunlight. It's Guler who fakes the give to Kappinga, pitches to Paulson 8 yards downfield, and Paulson is gone for the touchdown. Strike up the band for the 3rd time in the first quarter, Mr. Fitzsimmons. The Vikings lead 18-0, 2-point conversion pending. What an option read. Typically, you see any type of a pitch from that option in the backfield, maybe a yard or 2 downfield. Guler and Paulson were a good 8-9 yards downfield when Guler pitched that ball to Paulson, who had nothing but open field in front of him. Little miscommunication maybe from the Vikings sideline here. I was curious we were going to see this tonight. I get to peel back the curtain on my day-to-day. I have the Vikings PAT kicker right now, Grady Larson, in class. The snap is good, the hold is good, and the kick from Larson is good. If it seems as if that is the first PAT the Vikings have made in the last 2+ seasons, it's because it is. And as I was saying, I have Larson in my class in the afternoon, and he said that they had been practicing PATs, and so I was wondering if you were going to get to see that. The Vikings went for it on the first two-point conversion tries, and after those two have failed, they sent Larson out to try the PAT, and Larson line drive through the uprights. The Vikings now lead 19-0. The Vikings have kind of been without a place kicker for the last couple of seasons and have elected to do a lot of two-point conversion tries in that time. And so a little excitement, more excitement than you'd be used to from the Vikings sideline after the 1-point PAT try was good. Boy, this offense is rolling here for Pelican Rapids. They have yet to have been stopped. 3 possessions, 3 touchdowns. And Larson, fresh off of the first point after success of the season, set to kick off for the Vikings already for the 3rd time this evening. And Larson's boot, end over end, little shorter, is going to be fielded at the 20, muffed out of bounds. Fortunate there for number 3, Tucker Kveen, that went out of bounds, and the Rams will take over at the 25-yard line. As the season finished up last week, the Section 8AA standings are as follows. Barnesville got the 1 seed, an undefeated 8-0 record, looking to get back to the state tournament following their state championship run of last year. As I mentioned before, Vikings of Pelican Rapids, the 2 seed, 6-1 in the section, 7-1 overall. Park Rapids, 5-2 in the section, 5-3 overall. Frazee got the 4 seed at 3-4. Warroad also 3-4 in the section at 5. The give here is to number 3, Tucker Kveen, and Kveen brought down in the backfield for a 2-yard loss. That is the Vikings' leading tackler on the season, junior Jack Kapinga, on the stop. The 6 seed in Section 8AA was Holly, also at 3-4. So it would have come down to a lot of head-to-head matchups and QRF rankings for those 4, 5, and 6 seedings. Roseau then 1-6 at the 7 seed, and Crookston 0-7, the 8 seed. So that means that Crookston is heading to Barnesville this evening. Roseau here in Pelican Rapids. Holly on the road in Park Rapids in that 6-7 game. And the always fun to watch 5-4 matchup has the 5-seeded World Warriors headed to Frazee to take on the Hornets. Our first time out of the game is going to go to Roseau. And they'll be back looking at 2nd and 12 out of this timeout. I'll try to keep you updated on any scores I have from those other 3 section games over the course of the evening. A little too early for that right now. In a busy week in general for Viking athletics, as the Viking girls volleyball team play host to the Barnesville Trojans in their first round section volleyball matchup tomorrow night. That game, I believe, will be at 7 o'clock, but don't quote me on that around town. And then on Friday, cross country will have their section meet. They are up in Bagley, and the weather could look significantly different, especially up in Bagley come Friday, as temperatures are supposed to fall and potential snow in the forecast for Thursday, Friday, and maybe even Saturday. We're back out of the timeout. Roseau on 2nd and 12 is going to give right up the middle, and nothing doing there is 43, Jake Borovich. I am not in the huddle or the headsets of the Roseau Rams, but I am a little surprised they haven't tried to get freshman Jordan Borovich the ball. As I said, when they were here a couple weeks ago, Borovich had 166 yards of offense and the only offensive score for the Rams on the day. And they've got him the ball a couple times, but not really in positions to be successful. And also then credit to this Vikings defense for looking incredibly tough early on. The play clock and game clock are very, very close. We are down underneath 4 seconds. And the Rams do have to get a play off. It is kind of a designed quarterback draw. The ball is out on the play, picked up by Jake Borovich, fortunately for the Roseau Rams, and that is going to do it for the first quarter. It is all Vikings, Pelican Rapids rolling up 19-0 after 1 quarter of play.
This is about our future.
A future that starts with us.
A future that starts today.
And we'll do it
Together. We realize that in order to make a difference,
We need to embrace our differences.
Because it's our differences
that drives our greatness. And it all starts here.
A place where we can be part of a team.
part of a dream.
And given the tools to pursue the unseen.
A place that we all belong.
and we all belong.
Here.
And we're back at John C. Martin Field. Gotta love that little promotional video for Pelican Rapids Schools put together by PRHS alum Micah Kavit. As I said before break, it has been all Vikings so far. Pelican has had the ball 3 times. They have 3 touchdowns. And compared to the Rams, who only have 1 first down on the game so far, and they are going to start deep in their field to begin the second quarter. Borovich fields the high snap, gets the punt away. It's going to bounce and then be fielded right at midfield by Trayvon Benson. Benson makes a couple juke moves and is going to fall forward. An excellent starting field position for the Vikings as they will start their 4th drive of the game at the Roseau 37-yard line following a 13-yard return by junior Trayvon Benson. Speaking with head coach Eli Beachy, really wanted to see his guys get off to a quick start in this one. He has to be incredibly pleased with what he saw, both offensively and defensively, in this first quarter. The Vikings again with 3 men in the backfield. It's now Luke Soley on the bottom part of your screen. Guler will take the snap, and he will keep little option read again. This time Guler, with a juke move, is off to the races, and senior Timmy Guler is in for the 37-yard touchdown run, untouched on his way into the end zone. And the Vikings send freshman Grady Larson and the PAT unit back out there. I'm even excited. I'm not used to seeing the Vikings do point after tries. It's kind of exciting. What a run from Timmy Guler there, who stays on and handles the holding responsibilities. And whenever you have a quarterback, especially a starting quarterback of Timmy Guler's caliber, as your holder on PATs, then it always does make you wonder if there could be a little fake element in there. I don't think we'll see that right now on the 2nd PAT try of the season for the Vikings. Little low snap, and not a designed play, but it's going to work nonetheless for Timmy Guler, who is a little slow to get up following that one. But the 2-point conversion try is successful. That was a little bit of ESP from me there. Did not anticipate a fake, and it wasn't a fake, but that muffed snap picked up by a very athletic holder, Timmy Guler, and he dives into the end zone for the 2-point conversion try and walking off what appears to be just a little stinger on the sideline. And if you could see at the bottom of your screen, if I could shout right now, I might recommend to Timmy Guler to put his helmet back on, because with it off, he's showing the entire student section and fan section this brand new mullet that he has recently cut into his head of hair. And I don't know about you at home, but I'm not a fan. You didn't listen in for my, stylistic tips and thoughts this evening, though. It is 27-0 Vikings as Larson gears up for his 4th kickoff. It is a little short one. Attempted trickery there from the Rams with a fake handoff on that reverse. Instead, it's going to be Tucker Kaveen who brings the ball up to the Roseau 40-yard line where the Rams will start. I'm sure the Vikings would love nothing more than to keep extending this early first half lead and hopefully get to the second half with a big enough cushion that they can feel comfortable resting a lot of their starters. As I said, a short week. It was both a short week following their game on Friday night of last week, and now we got Tuesday night lights in front of you tonight, and that would be followed by an even shorter 4-day move. That option there is in the air, still in the air, somehow brought in by Borovich. I'm going to need a second to unpack what I just saw there. It was already an unorthodox little option, and I think it would have technically been considered a pass downfield as it was a forward toss from Wenzloff. It was tipped about half a dozen times both by Mark Kapinga and Jake Borovich for what would have been a technical interception had it landed in the hands of Kapinga. As it stands, though, it ended up in the arms of Jake Borovich, whose momentum kept him going for the second Roseau first down of the evening. Unorthodox but effective from Roseau on first down. Wenzloff under center is going to take the snap, and he's going to give to freshman Jordan Borovich now. And Borovich able to get to the outside, and flags fly as Borovich has a first down gain of 6. But it does appear as if this one might be coming back, erasing that first down gain for the Rams. Just waiting on the indication from the official. And that is a hold that is going to go against offensive lineman number 61, Riley Obiger. And it's going to erase that first down gain of 5 and instead back the Rams up into 1st and 20. So you get one thing to go your way if you're Roseau on that fluky catch and run from Jake Borovich, and then you immediately put yourself in a hole again with that holding penalty. That's Jordan Borovich in motion. The give is going to go to Jake Borovich up the middle, and he's going to get back 6 yards, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 14. What little remnants of sunlight remain are dwindling as we are pretty much entirely now under the lights here at Chauncey Martin Field in Pelican Rapids. On a calm evening following a couple of rainy games for the Vikings on this field. That give is going to be Jordan Borovich. Borovich tries to get to the corner and is instead brought down by freshman number 19, Ethan Eisman. After only a gain of 2, it's going to be 3rd and 12 for the Rams. Third and long. Wenzloff back to pass. Looks to his right. High arcing throw that is going to be broken up nicely by number 28, Esteban Sixer Garza. What a play from the senior Esteban Garza. And that does bring up 4th and 12, and the Vikings initially had men back deep. But again, with the score 27-0, yeah, it's 4th and long, but you are across midfield for the Rams, and they've already shown a willingness to go for it on 4th down. And the Vikings were a little thrown off defensively, and before that play could get off, head coach Eli Beachy will use the Vikings' first timeout of the half. And at 9:16 to play in the second quarter, the Vikings lead 27-0. To give you a couple more stats for the Vikings now that the regular season has finished, the Vikings receiving core, which was very balanced all season long, was led in receptions by junior Trayvon Benson, who had 23 catches for a team-leading 338 yards and 1 touchdown. Senior Luke Soley had 14 receptions for 228 yards, averaging over 16 yards a catch, while hauling in 7 touchdowns. 14 catches for Soley, half of them going for scores. We are back following that timeout. The Rams do go for it. Wentslaff back to pass, looking across the middle, overthrows Borovich, and it's picked off by Jack Paulson, and Paulson's got some room to run in front of him. Paulson into Roseau territory, is eventually dragged down from behind by Jordan Borovich, and what a catch and run from Jack Paulson. Paulson's done a little bit of everything tonight. He already has a long touchdown run for the Vikings, and now an interception followed by a lengthy 40-plus yard return, giving the Vikings excellent field position as they take over, already up 27-0 with 9 minutes to play in the second quarter. And a quick timeout by Roseau, their second timeout of the half. Maybe just give their defense a second to get set after that interception by Paulson. This is already the 6th home game that the Vikings have played this year. They had 5 in the regular season. Typically, you're only going to have 4, but they got to pick up a home game as Frazee's new field was not quite ready at that point in time. And so they picked up 5 total regular season home games, and they are well on their way to earning a 7th home game on Saturday, leading 27-0 in this one. There's some years where you'd only play 3, maybe 4 games on your home field in high school football, and the Vikings are going to end up with more than likely 7. We are back after that timeout, and it's Timmy Guler with Benson to his left, Paulson to his right, and Kapica behind him. He takes the snap, fakes to 3 men, and now rolls out to run on a designed quarterback bootleg. A very long developing play that is going to lead for Timmy Guler picking up about 5 yards on first down. He ran about 30 yards total to pick up 5 on that play. And the Vikings, again, no huddle, getting the play call from the sideline. All of those 11 offensive players with an armband with their play call sheet on it, getting that signal, checking it, everybody being on the same page. It's a little different than you would typically see from high school football, but it's been very effective for the Vikings. It's Guler to pass. He's got Benson, who gets a block from Luke Soley, and Benson is off to the races, makes one man miss, and is down at the 6-yard line. 2 nice blocks from senior wide receivers Luke Soley and Jack Paulson sprung Benson for a large second down gain, and the Vikings will have first and goal from Roseau's 5-yard line. This Viking offense has made it look easy so far tonight. It is Benson, Paulson, and Kapica again in the backfield. Luke Soley and Miguel Torres wide right. Now Paulson goes in motion. Benson goes in motion to behind him. Guler now throws to Benson wide right, and Benson picks up another 2 nice blocks, and a flag flies. Benson, I believe, would have been in the end zone, but the indication would be that this flag is going to go against the Vikings, as the official on that side didn't even bother putting his hands in the air. And that hold is going to go against the Vikings. So it temporarily wipes a touchdown off the board for Pelican Rapids, but the Vikings will still have 4 tries to get into the end zone. That was Paulson on the holding penalty there.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the infraction will bring it out to the 11. It'll remain first and goal.
10 yards back from the spot of that penalty means the Vikings are going to have first and goal from their 11. It's Paulson, Soley, and Benson wide left with Jack Kappinga in the backfield. Guler takes the snap, fakes to Kappinga, rushes on. Guler scrambles to his left, throws across his body, and has a wide open Luke Soley in the end zone for the touchdown. Luke Soley, who I said averaged a touchdown every other catch in the regular season, has his first reception of this game go for a score, and the Vikings are up 33-0. Following the muffed PHE try, the Vikings are going to keep the full offensive unit on the scoreboard to go for 2. And the give is going to go to Jack Kappinga, carrying multiple men on his back, and Kappinga is going to be down about 6 inches shy of the goal line. So the 2-point try, again, no good. It's been a little bit of a, really the only blemish this evening for the Vikings has been those 2-point conversion tries. But as it stands, I think Viking fans and coaching staff will take this score. It is 33-0 with 8 minutes to play in the second quarter still.
Pelican Rapids lining up to kick off following the touchdown. Number 17 on the kickoff for Pelican Rapids is Brady Larson. Deep, number 3, Tucker Kaveen, and 35, Jordan Bravo.
The kick from Larson is going to go to Kaveen, and Kaveen with a nice return up across the 40.
Number 3, Tucker Kaveen on that return from his own 20. And he brings the ball out to the 43-yard line, where it'll be first and 10 for the Rams. Stop was made there by the Vikings. Number 4, Jack Kappinga.
Trying to find any type of stream of the Park Rapids Holly game to no avail. So I'll still, ball's on the floor there, and I believe Roseau was able to fall on it. But we'll try to keep you updated if I can get any of those updates, or if any of you listeners are at home and should happen to have yours truly's contact information, feel free to give me an update. If there is anybody out there, I can pass that on. As it stands here, however, like I said, 33-0 Pelican Rapids. That muffed handoff puts the Rams in a bit of a hole. It is 2nd and 11. Wentzlaff takes the snap. Another lofty pass, and really nice defense from senior cornerback and safety, number 7, Jack Paulson, who kind of read that like a book. Wentzlaff with a really nice touch on that ball, just an even nicer play by Jack Paulson, breaking it up, brings up 3rd and long for the Vikings. For the Rams. Third and 11, Wentzlaff sends Bravich in motion, and we're going to have pre-snap flags. And a little early movement from the Rams is going to back them up another 5 yards. And so now 3rd and long becomes 3rd and longer. And this Viking defense has been very, very stout all game long, looking to force another 3 and out of this Roseau offense. It's Borovich in motion again, and again, pre-snap flags fly, and I think we are going to get a false start again against Roseau, and we are. It appeared as if that was the same play call as the previous play, and it was the same result. That's going to back up the Rams 5 yards. And now 3rd and 16 becomes 3rd and 21. Different formation here from the Rams. Snap is going to be wide to Borovich, who makes a couple men miss and has a pickup of about 6 yards on 3rd and long. That's going to bring up 4th down and about 15. And the punt units come onto the field for both teams as the Vikings are set to get the ball back already with a substantial lead from Chauncey Martin Field. It's Benson and Eisman back deep. Nice punt from Jake Borovich. It's going to be Benson from his 25-yard line. Head of steam. He's trying to find the right side. And a nice 21-yard return from Trayvon Benson is going to give the Vikings very nice field position. They have had nice field position what feels like the entire game. And they will take over 1st and 10 from their own 46-yard line. Vikings take over. Guler from the shotgun is going to look to pass. Looking down over the field, he's got nobody immediately open. He's going to throw across his body to Trayvon Benson, who tiptoes his way down the sideline, and Benson in for the Vikings score. It did appear as if right off the bat, Guler had senior Luke Soley open in the flat, was looking downfield, scrambled to extend the play, threw across his body, running to his left, and found Trayvon Benson, who had impeccable body control to both evade the tackle and keep his feet in bounds, and then tiptoe his way down the sideline for the Vikings score. That score puts the Vikings up 39-0, and the Vikings offense stays on the field and will go for 2. Guler back to pass. Fires to the left and tipped. Looking for Ethan Eisman. A bullet from Timmy Guler was tipped by freshman Levi Dunham. Well, the Vikings have had the ball 6 times. They have 6 touchdowns and have only allowed 2 first downs to Roseau's offense. And that is about the story of this one, with still half of the second quarter to play from Pelican Rapids. Grady Larson's kick, line drive that's going to be fielded and then handed off to Jordan Borovich. And Borovich is going to have return up to the 34, and a late flag is going to fly. And my early indication is that's going to go against Roseau. It was well away from the ball. And I'm just waiting to get the indication from the officials as to exactly what the call on the field was. And that's going to be a face mask on the return team. Again, a long ways away from where the actual play on the field was at. And it's going to wipe off that modest return from Jordan Borovich. And instead, Roseau, following that face mask penalty, is going to start over back at their own 24-yard line. It's Wentzloff under center, who's going to give right up the middle to Jake Borovich. And Jake Borovich is going to have a pickup of 2 on first down, bringing up 2nd and 8. Temperature holding very steady at 49 degrees in Pelican Rapids. Perfect fall evening for football. Friday night lights on a Tuesday. And the pre-snap whistle is going to be the 3rd and final timeout of the half by the Rams. That's going to stop our clock at 5:12. Vikings lead 39-0. And we're back following that timeout. It's 2nd and 7 for Roseau from their own 26-yard line. Wentzloff under center takes the snap, and he will give, and then immediately, that is Jordan Borovich, who was smacked as soon as the ball touched his hands by number 67. That's Caden Holt for the Vikings. Excuse me. Number 67, Justin Jacobson on that stop. A very nice play from Justin Jacobson. Good for a 4-yard loss. Brings up 3rd down and long. Wentzloff trying to get his men in position here. Takes the snap and will pitch wide to Jordan Borovich. And it's going to be a halfback pass, and it's complete. Freshman to freshman. And it's just Benson trying to make the stop, but that is going to be number 10, Levi Dunham, who is in for the score. What looked like a near broken play disaster on 3rd and long turns into a Roseau touchdown on a halfback pass from freshman number 35, Jordan Borovich, to freshman number 10, Levi Dunham. And despite the score on the scoreboard, the future bright for Roseau as a couple of freshmen making a play, putting the Rams on the scoreboard. 39-6, 4:10 to play in this first half. Doesn't matter the score on the scoreboard. You love to see a trick play work. PAT attempt is going to be blocked. Looks like the snap was never fielded by Wentzloff, and that PAT try by Jake Borovich is blocked by, could have been one of about 5 different Vikings up the middle there. And with 4:10 on the scoreboard, Pelican Rapids leads the Rams from Roseau 39-6. And as I was saying earlier, we'd like to wish the best of luck to the Lady Vikings volleyball team tomorrow night for their section first-round playoff matchup against the Barnesville Trojans, as well as the entire Viking cross-country team heading to Bagley for that section meet. That is on Friday. Could be a very chilly run for those cross-country runners on Friday, and it could be a much cooler evening, much cooler afternoon, I should say, on Saturday. Should this score hold, the Vikings will be back on Chauncey Martin Field for one more time this year, Saturday at 2 o'clock. Temperature is supposed to be in the upper 20s on Saturday, and there might even be a slight dusting of snow on the ground by kickoff. As it stands here, though, there's 4 minutes left in the clock in the second quarter, and Jake Baravich sends an end-over-end kick down to Jack Paulson from the Viking 12. Paulson getting some nice blocks in front of him, has the right side, and Paulson is going to cross midfield, and a very nice return from senior Jack Paulson, who already has a touchdown offensively and an interception defensively, and now he can add an impressive kick return to the mix. So the Vikings will start from the Roseau half of the 50, 1st and 10 at the 49-yard line. Guler from that shotgun is going to take the snap, fake to Benson, give to Cap. Oh, he fooled me, and he's got Luke Soley. Soley with the catch, and Luke Soley is into the end zone for the Viking touchdown. What a fake from quarterback Timmy Guler, who had me looking at Kappinga running up the middle, and instead found Luke Soley, who kicked in the afterburners while that ball was in the air, made a nice over-the-shoulder catch, and Luke Soley, 2 catches for 2 touchdowns tonight, a touchdown machine for the Vikings. And already the 7th touchdown the Vikings have had in this first half. That Viking pep band getting plenty of practice on the school song this evening. It's Guler from the shotgun for the 2-point conversion try with Kappinga behind him. Guler takes the snap, and he will give to Kappinga. And this time Kappinga has the 2-point conversion for the Vikings. That's going to push the score to 47-6 Pelican Rapids with 3:51 to play in the first half as the Viking band plays yet again. Wave the flag. And nothing but good vibes in the Vikings sideline right now. Little pooch kick here from Grady Larson. That's going to be fielded at the 24 by Kveen, and a host of Vikings. Ball is free, and the Vikings recover. And a late whistle ruling the runner down, and flags fly. It really did appear from my vantage point as if that ball was out before any part of the runner was down. That said, an official came in after the ball had popped free and the scrum had started, saying that the runner was down. In whatever confusion came out of that, an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty is going to go against number 4, Jack Kappinga, which is going to move the ball forward 15 yards right up to midfield for the Roseau Rams. Must have been something said on the field would be my guess, because I didn't see any type of shoving, pushing, or anything that would have warranted an unsportsmanlike conduct penalty, which usually means it might have been something said. And if it was something said, then who knows if it was even said by Kapinga. Could have been a whole host of Vikings there. Who knows? As it stands, are we going to have a second halfback pass in a row? We are. And another completion. So if it's not broke, don't try to fix it if you are the Roseau offense. Their last offensive play was a halfback pass from Jordan Borovich. And here we go. First down from midfield and a halfback pass from Jordan Borovich. So do they try it a third time in a row? It has hands down been their best offense of the game. And with the score of 47-6, you really have nothing to lose. 3 men in the backfield for the Rams as Wensloff is under center. Takes the snap, pitches to Borovich. Ball is on the grass, still rolling around, and covered up by the Vikings. And Pelican Rapids will take over following the Roseau fumble. And the Vikings, already up 41, will have the ball with 3 minutes to play in the first half. In what has been a very high-scoring 20 minutes of play to start this game for the Vikings. A Viking offense back on the field. I would imagine at this point they will play to finish the first half, and I would imagine we would not see a lot of these guys in the second half. The give is going to go right up the middle to Jack Kapinga, and he has touched 12 yards downfield. That ankle tackle likely saved what would have been a Kapinga 70-plus yard touchdown run. As it stands, a first down gain for the junior Viking running back. And it's 1st and 10 for the Vikings from their own 48-yard line. Guler takes the snap, gives to Paulson. Paulson, little shoulder shake, and Paulson still on his feet down the sidelines, has a first down and then some for the Vikings. That's going to be a gain of 21 for Jack Paulson and a new set of downs. The Vikings 1st and 10 now from the Roseau 31-yard line. A lot of potential Vikings that can beat you offensively. If it's not Kapinga, it might be Guler. If it's not Guler, it might be Paulson. If it's not Paulson, it might be Benson. And we've already seen Luke Soley with 2 touchdown receptions tonight as well. Guler takes the snap, gives to Jack Kapinga, who puts his head down and will fall forward for a gain of 6 yards on first down. And if you're the Vikings here, 2 minutes to go, they really have been able to move the ball at will. But you, as much as you'd like to just see someone break a 26-yard touchdown run here, run the clock a little bit and maybe score right before halftime. Guler takes the snap, gives to Benson. Benson makes 2 men miss in the backfield, stiffs arms a third, still on his feet, and Trayvon Benson, a lot of work to pick up about 3 yards on that play. It's going to bring up 3rd down for the Vikings. Clock does run. It's down to 1:15. A little more patience from the Vikings now as the first half getting closer to wrapping up. Guler takes the snap, gives to Mark Kapinga. Mark Kapinga has the right side, layers the hit, and has a first down. Mark Kapinga's first carry of the game for the Vikings, making his presence known. And the Vikings will have 1st and 10 from their 14. Guler takes the snap, fakes to Mark Kapinga, throws out to Trayvon Benson. Benson makes a man miss, reaches for the goal line, and they're going to say his knee was down. Good call from the official. Benson, every effort he could, getting a nice block from junior wide receiver Channing Russman. And he's going to be down right at the 2-yard line where his knee went down. Nice run after the catch from Trayvon Benson. Guler takes the snap, gives to Mark Kapinga, and Mark Kapinga is in for a Viking score. Their 8th touchdown of this first half, and the score is 53-6. The Vikings again go for 2 here. Guler will take and give to Mark Kapinga, and Mark Kapinga, who scored the touchdown, picks up another 2 points for the Vikings, who now lead 55-6 with just 13 seconds to play in the first half from Pelican Rapids. Little squib from Grady Larson, and the Vikings may have actually recovered that. It was certainly touched by a Roseau Ram, and it is Viking ball. I would not say Grady Larson was trying to have an onside kick there, just a little squib kick, but it works for the Vikings, who are going to have it more than likely to just take a knee before half. Looking to try to find, there is a link for that Holly Park Rapids game, but it does appear as if there's some type of restriction placed on it as a playoff game is on. So not entirely sure what the score is over there. If I do get anything on that, I will pass it on to you, as it does look like Timmy Guler is just going to take a knee. And that will do it for our first half, as the scoreboard reads Pelican Rapids 55, Roseau 6. The Vikings looking every bit like the 2 seed in Section 8AA play. And we'll be back to bring you the second half action from Chauncey Martin Field after this break.
This is about our future.
A future that starts with us.
A future that starts today.
And we'll do it
Together. We realize that in order to make a difference,
We need to embrace our differences.
Because it's our differences
that drives our greatness. And it all starts here.
A place where we can be part of a team.
part of a dream.
And given the tools to pursue the unseen.
A place that we all belong.
and we all belong.
Here. This is about our future.
A future that starts with us.
A future that starts today.
And we'll do it.
Together, we realize that in order to make a difference,
We need to embrace our differences.
Because it's our differences
that drives our greatness. And it all starts here.
A place where we can be part of a team.
Part of a dream.
And given the tools to pursue the unseen.
A place that we all belong.
and we all belong.
Here.
Yeah, that's very true. More than likely. Some of these guys should never touch the field again tonight. He should not touch the field. All right. Yeah. If it's closer, yeah. But this is just no point. Yeah. Yes, sir. Welcome back to Pelican Rapids for second half action in the Section 8AA quarterfinal matchup between the number 2 seeded Pelican Rapids Vikings and the number 7 visiting Roseau Rams. Your first half score, 55-6 in favor of the Vikings, and it's Grady Larson and those Vikings who will kick off. Larson, nice kick, backpedaling Borovich to his own 16, and Borovich is going to be brought down by a host of Vikings led by Mark Kappinga at the 27-yard line. As we enter into a second half of substantial lead for the Vikings, we'll try to keep our eye as best as possible on any substitutions coming in. It does look like the normal starting defense for the Vikings, at least to start the second half, but I really would assume a lot of these guys will only play this one possession before giving way to the backups of this game. It's Borovich on a sweep to the outside, catches a nice block, and is finally pushed out of bounds by Jack Paulson. Talked about in the first half, Jordan Borovich had a very nice game 2 weeks ago in Pelican Rapids, ran for 166 yards. The Vikings really kept him in check and really made him play between the tackles where he had much more success getting to the outside. And he gets to the outside there and has a nice first down gain. First and 10 from their own 48-yard line. Wenslav takes the snap, and he's going to give to Jake Borovich right up the middle, and Jake Borovich has a nice hole as well. So 2 first down runs for the Roseau Rams, who have already matched their total amount of first downs as they had in the first half. Rams had 2 first downs and 1 score in the first half, and they already have 2 first downs on 2 plays to start this second half. It's Wenslaw from the shotgun. Drop back to pass, throws to his right, and it's going to be caught. It did appear as if it might have been bobbled, but our official on the scene there is going to say it was caught by number 10, Levi Dunham. That's going to be good for a first down gain of 7. Might have been one of those where maybe it even did get bobbled and hit the ground, but our 3 official crew that was near it, 5 officials total, but 3 officials that were near the play just didn't have the right vantage point to actually see that. As it stands, second down and 7. Clock runs nearing 9 minutes in this third quarter. Borovich in motion. That's Jordan Borovich, and brought down by a whole host of Vikings. Borovich is going to lose a yard on that play. And that's going to back the Rams up to a third down and a long 4. A late substitution for the Vikings as Esteban Garza comes off. A little screenplay set up, and it's caught by Jake Borovich. He makes 4 Vikings miss, catches a block, and a late flag will come in. That screen pass setup looked like the Vikings were going to bring down Borovich for a loss. As it stands, it's a first down, but there's a flag right towards the end of the play. It does look like it's going to go against the Rams. The question is it going to back them up far enough that that's going to put them in 4th down range? And as I'm looking at the line crew, it does look like it's going to be enough for a first down. So it's a holding call that goes against the Rams right at the end of that play, but it's a spot foul, and so it is going to still be good enough for a Roseau first down. And so Jake Borovich on that screen pass picks up the Roseau first down, and the clock will roll, 8:20 and counting in the third quarter from Pelican Rapids. 1st and 10 Roseau from the Viking 25-yard line. Wenslaw back to pass under pressure, will drift to his right, throw lofted into the end zone, and caught, incomplete. I think Miguel Torres, the defensive back on that play, would like a second try for an interception. Just mistimed his jump on that. And when the Roseau receiver, I believe that was Dunham, came down, his foot came down out of bounds. So all of that for an incomplete pass. Score being what it is, the clock already running here in Pelican Rapids. Wenslaw takes the snap. Dive up the middle to Borovich. That's Jake Borovich, who is going to have 2 yards on second down. That's going to bring up 3rd and 8 for Roseau. Nice sustained drive here from the Rams. Other than their touchdown drive where they scored on a halfback pass on 3rd and long, this has definitely been the most consistent we've seen their offense run. And a whistle is going to stop play here. Looks like it's just trying to get a shoe situation figured out for one of the Roseau linemen who is going to head off the field as a substitution is going to head on. That's number 68, Caleb Verquisten, sophomore, who's going to head onto the field for what looks like the first time this evening. Wenslaw takes the snap, drifts to his right, looking to pass, instantly under pressure. Looks like there could have been a hold on that from my vantage point. The pass will fall incomplete, and that's going to bring up 4th down and 8 for Roseau. That was Justin Jacobson getting into the backfield right away, and that was where it looked like I maybe saw a bit of a hold on Jacobson as Wentzlaff was trying to break free to his right. As it stands, 4th and 8. Vikings defense trying to bend but not break on this first possession of the half for Roseau. Clock continues to run. We are now under 6 minutes. That running time really gets the clock moving. Wentzlaff on 4th and 8 takes the snap. 3-step drop, passes over the middle, looking for Borovich. And Jack Paulson nearly had an insane one-handed interception. If you're a Vikings fan, it would have been fun to see. If you're on the Vikings coaching staff, you're probably okay with the fact that Paulson did not catch that, as he either would have been down near the goal line or he could have been maybe awarded a touchback, which would have only changed possession by about 4 yards. But on a 4th down, an incompletion there is probably the best thing. You're going to get the ball right where the offense left off. And so the Vikings take over. And on this first offensive possession of the half, we do have a substitution in at quarterback. I was assuming we would probably see this. Timmy Guler played a stellar first half for the Vikings, and now he will give way to sophomore McLean Hovland, who takes the snap and will give to Mark Kappinga. Mark Kappinga up the middle. Still on his feet, Mark Kappinga, a first down for the Vikings. Some very tough running from the junior. And that's going to move the chains for the Vikings, and the clock runs 4:40 and counting already in the third quarter. Kind of a mix of first and second team players out there. Esteban Garza out there for the Vikings, Channing Russman out there, Mark Kappinga, like I said, McLean Hovland in the backfield. That's Miguel Torres at split end. He gives to Kappinga. Kappinga making multiple Rams miss, still on his feet. And a lot of work for a modest 2-yard first down gain from Mark Kappinga. I did get a little update at halftime from Park Rapids. It was tied 7-7 between Park Rapids and Hawley right before halftime, maybe at halftime. Have not had an update in the last 15 minutes or so. So I'm assuming that game is well into the second half now, but it was tied as Mark Kappinga is going to have first down yardage and then some for the Vikings. Mark Kappinga, his third straight run for the Vikings, is going to bring possession across midfield into Roseau territory. Kappinga a little slow to get up, but is looking just fine and is going to sub out, has his brother, Jack Kappinga, is going to spell him for a play. Looked like Mark Kappinga just a little slow getting up, gives the Viking trainer Nathan Clark a thumbs up, and I'm guessing we'll see him back on the field very soon. It's McLean Hovland from the pistol formation is going to give to Ethan Eisman in the backfield. Eisman running on the right side has a nice first down gain for the Vikings of 7 yards. Looks like pretty much the same starting offensive line for the Vikings. It's a lot of those skill positions that are your kind of second stringers coming in the game right now. In the backfield is also number 44, Lucas Verdorn. He is to Hovland's left, and he will get the ball here. And Verdorn is going to be brought down right at the line of scrimmage. Mark Kappinga now coming back into the game as Verdorn will trot off for the Vikings. Clock running down closer and closer to the 2-minute mark. It's third down for Pelican Rapids. Normally, this would be 2-down territory for the Vikings. I am curious if they would want to at least maybe practice a punt on the evening. They have not done so far. Hovland is going to give to Mark Kappinga, and we're not going to have to wonder because Mark Kappinga is actually going to lose the ball. I'm not sure if it was on the handoff itself or on a hit or if Kappinga just never had control of it. But the Kappinga fumble is going to be picked up by Roseau, so the Rams will take over. And it will be 1st and 10, Roseau, from their own 41-yard line. Still a lot of starters defensively on the field for the Vikings. Soley still out there, Schustrom, Russman, Paulson, Torres. Kapinga and Kapinga. And this give is going to be Jordan Boravich trying the left side. Stays on his feet. I think the Vikings assumed that a couple of shoves are going to get him out of bounds. As it stands, Boravich on a nice first down run right up to midfield. That's going to be good for 9 on first down. And he's starting to get to the edge a little bit more than he did in the first half. Clock now under a minute to go in the third quarter. It's Wenslauf under center. Takes the snap, and he's going to give to Jordan Boravich again. And Jordan Boravich going to have just enough for the first down, says our near side official. Gain of 1 is going to be a change of the chains for Roseau. And it's the 1st and 10, Roseau in Viking territory now. And it's going to be an easy change of field as we exit the third quarter and head into the fourth quarter from Chauncey Martin Field in Pelican Rapids. Your score, Pelican Rapids 55, Roseau 6, with the fourth quarter upcoming.
This is about our future.
A future that starts with us.
A future that starts today.
And we'll do it
Together. We realize that in order to make a difference,
We need to embrace our differences.
Because it's our differences
that drives our greatness. And it all starts here.
A place where we can be part of a team.
part of a dream.
And given the tools to pursue the unseen.
A place that we all belong.
and we all belong.
Here.
And we're back, about ready to get the fourth quarter started here. A couple of scores, updates for you. Barnesville, a significant 60-plus point lead over Crookston. That game is in the third quarter. And Frazee taking on Warroad in that 4-5 game. I believe I heard it was a 3-score lead in Frazee. So it looks as if the 4-seed Hornets are going to be heading to Barnesville on Saturday for that HOL Section 8AA semifinal matchup. And updates tough to come by in the Park Rapids Holly game. And here in Pelican Rapids, we are in the fourth quarter. Roseau looking to put together a couple of positive plays here as the handoff from Wenslauf is going to go right up the middle. I believe that was number 2, Miles Dixon, on the carry. And that's going to be good for a Ram first down. Couple of substitutions out there. Grady Larson seeing the field defensively for, I believe, the first time this afternoon. That play going to be snuffed out before anything could get started there for Roseau. Also on the field for the Vikings, number 63, Ben Ecker. Second and long for Roseau from the Viking 36. The pitch is going to go to Jordan Boravich. Avoids the tackle by, that was 63, Ben Ecker, and will be brought down by a host of Vikings after a gain of about 1.5. It's going to bring up 3rd and 8 for Roseau. That clock continues to run now. Under 10 minutes to go in this game. Number 58, Austin Kleinschmidt checking into the game for Channing Russman. And I think we'll just continue to see more and more substitutions on both offense and defense. There is number 35. That's Andrew Checo D'Souza checking in the game for the Vikings. Always fun to see Andrew out on the field as well. Snap goes to Wenslaff, drifting to his right, looking to pass. He's got 2 men deep, and Miguel Torres timed his jump much better on that one. He would have still liked to have hauled in the interception, I'm sure, but a nice job breaking up that play by the sophomore defensive back for the Vikings. That's going to bring up 4th and long. Roseau will keep their offense on the field. '78, Edwin Escobar checking into the game for that Viking front 3 defensively. Gibbs going to go to Jordan Borovich, trying to get to the outside, catches a couple of blocks, still on his feet, scrapping for that first down yardage, and the official spot is going to be right at the marker. On the far side of the field, it's hard to see if he got it or not, and it does look as if Borovich's 2nd, 3rd, and 4th effort on that run is going to be good for a Roseau first down. Oh, I am taken aback. I initially saw the chain gang start to move as if it was a first down. Instead, the Vikings did stop Borovich just shy of first down yardage, and so it's going to be a change of possession back over to the Viking offense. Clock runs just over 8 minutes to go. And the Viking offense will take the field. And if the Vikings can string together a couple of first downs, they might be able to run this clock out with the clock running. We had McLean Hovland in at quarterback on that last possession for the Vikings. Now it is freshman, number 17, Grady Larson in at quarterback. Grady sends Ethan Eisman in motion, takes the snap, and will give right up the middle. That's number 40, Bricker Haugrud. And Bricker Haugrud with a nice first down run for the Vikings. The freshman picks up 7. A freshman-heavy offense out there for the Vikings right now. Also on the field right now, that's number 33 out wide, Calvin Norton. Lucas Verdorn in the slot. Handoff's going to go back to Bricker Haugrud, spinning and good for a first down. That's number 52, Connor Nelson, also in at the line for the Vikings. Austin Kleinschmidt on the line out there for the Vikings. Harley Jacobson, sophomore, out there. Trying to relay as many of these offensive substitutions as I can get to you as I see them. It's Larson again from the shotgun with Haugrud behind him. Ethan Eisman in motion. He's going to get the fake from Larson. Grady Larson right up the middle, and Larson is going to have a first down run brought down right at midfield. Nice fake to Ethan Eisman. And the freshman lowers his shoulder and picks up a Viking first down. So just what you wanted to see if you are Pelican Rapids, picking up a couple first downs here. That's number 21, Giovanni Abarca, fellow freshman, into the game. Nice to see Giovanni out there, as I know he suffered a concussion a couple weeks ago, and so he has obviously cleared all of his protocols and is good to get back out there for the Vikings. Eisman in motion now, deep. Larson's going to pitch it to Eisman, and that pitch going to be just off of Eisman's fingertips and picked up by the Rams. I know Larson a little upset with himself there. I think he felt like he missed getting it all the way into Eisman's hands. I'm sure Eisman would say he should have caught it as well. As it stands, the Vikings will send it back over to Roseau after picking up a couple of first downs on the runs of Haugrud and Grady Larson, and the clock runs down towards 5 minutes. Our scoreboard, just as it was at halftime, 55-6 in favor of the Vikings. Update for you guys from Park Rapids. The Panthers have pulled ahead of Hawley. There's 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter, And Park Rapids leads 19-7 over the Nuggets of Holly, so a 2-score game there. And looking more and more like the Vikings are going to have a matchup with the Panthers, who they just beat in Park Rapids last Friday by a score of 44-19. Only now those Panthers would be heading to Pelican Rapids on Saturday. Thank you to my anonymous source with the update there. Four minutes to go here from Pelican Rapids. It's 2nd and 10. The snap from Wenslauf right up the middle. That's, I believe, Jake Baravich. Snuffed out. Also on the field for the Vikings right now, I see number 80, Andon Roysum. I think I see number 74, Roscoe Stubbs, out there for the Vikings. So always fun. The Vikings have had some really nice victories this season, and usually when that happens, you get a lot of those younger players on the field at the end of the game. Jordan Baravich making some heavy cuts back and forth and running a lot to pick up about 3 yards. Some really shifty running, but nice pursuit from the Vikings to get that tackle after just a gain of 3. We're going to have a timeout by Roseau with 4th down and a long 5 upcoming. Temp has just fallen 1 degree from opening kick. It's 48 in Pelican still. A pretty perfect fall evening. Feels like a Friday. I know first hour tomorrow, Wednesday morning, for a lot of these guys is going to feel a little out of sorts following a football game. But with the score reading as it is, I think spirits will still be pretty high at PRHS tomorrow. Wenslauf, 4th and 5 from the shotgun, will throw to his right and off the hands. He had Levi Dunham, and Dunham started to think about the move he was going to make after making the catch before actually securing that one, and that's going to be a turnover on downs. Under 3 minutes to go. If the Vikings can hold on to the ball, they should be able to run out the clock on this possession. A very convincing game in Pelican Rapids tonight. The Vikings scored every single time they had the ball on offense in the first half. And now, as the clock runs nearing 2 minutes, all that's left to do from Chauncey Martin Field is cross the T and dot the I on victory for the Vikings tonight. The give goes to Bricker Haugrud up the middle, and he gets to midfield, a gain of 5 yards. That's 65, Maddox Vondra checking into the game for the Vikings, as well as number 60, Isaac Nava. Vondra, a freshman, Nava, sophomore. Everybody seeing the field tonight from Pelican Rapids, always fun to see. And even more importantly, if you are a Vikings fan, the Vikings coming out of tonight's game just as healthy as they were at the start of it. And at playoff time, it's not only about moving on to the next round, but it's also trying to keep yourself as healthy as possible, as Haugrud is going to have about 2 yards on 2nd down there. That's going to bring up 3rd and short. 64, Finn Stewart checking into the game for the Vikings, as well as number 30, Gage Trinan, number 32, Isaac Berggren. And more than likely, this will be the last snap of the game for the Vikings. Larson takes the snap, and he will just give to Bricker Haugrud. Haugrud will fall forward for a Viking first down. Nice second effort from Bricker Haugrud. Josiah Banton checking into the game for the Vikings. They don't have to run a play if they don't want to. But I can see wanting to run a play just if you're trying to get a couple extra snaps for some of these young guys who haven't had a chance to see the field too much. We are under 10 seconds to go. It's a race against time to get this last play off, and now it looks as if Grady Larson and that Vikings offense not in a hurry to get the snap off, and we are all zeros from Pelican Rapids. The Vikings, a convincing quarterfinal win of Section 8AA play, picking up the 55-6 victory over the visiting Roseau Rams. That win improves the Vikings to 8-1 on the season. If that score holds from Park Rapids, the Vikings will take on Park Rapids Saturday. Either way, if you're looking ahead, it's going to be Park Rapids or Hawley Saturday at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Hopefully the sun is out, as the temperature is not expected to be very warm on Saturday. But we'll be right here to bring you that section semifinal action, a spot in the section championship game up at the Fargo Dome will be on the line Saturday from Pelican Rapids. For tonight, on behalf of our producer, Kerry Haugrud, and his student-led video crew, tonight we had Ibrahim Sarek on the camera. We thank you to him, bundling up on a chilly evening from Pelican Rapids. I am Andy Johnson. Thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you back here one more time from Chauncey Martin Field Saturday at 2 o'clock.
This is about our future.
A future that starts with us.
A future that starts today.
And we'll do it
Together, we realize that in order to make a difference,
We need to embrace our differences.
Because it's our differences
that drives our greatness. And it all starts here.
A place where we can be part of a team.
part of a dream.
And given the tools to pursue the unseen.
A place that where all belong.
and we all belong.
Here.